Your faces.
Elaine.
Just a heads up to everybody
Old.
to YouTube. You're welcome to continue to connect, but everyone will hear you.
Yay, people.
Jordan, you just give us the high sign.
You got it. We have 3 minutes, just as a heads up to everybody. Thank you so much. And everyone who can hear us, we're so excited for you to be at our annual award ceremony.
I'm just going to throw this out there because we have a couple minutes before everybody starts, but I am so thankful that we still have SOPHE, even though it's digitally, because I miss people and I miss conferences, but I've been so grateful for the amazing sessions so far. And I'm so glad to see cameras turned on and people's real faces. I haven't seen my students, I feel like, in months because they're just little black Zoom boxes. So I'm so excited that for the past few days, I've been able to see so many people logging on and enjoying sessions.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to begin this presentation.
Well, good afternoon or good evening to all our SOPHE family and friends. We want to welcome you to SOPHE's 72nd Annual Conference Award Ceremony. And it's our pleasure tonight to celebrate SOPHE's public health and health education heroes, especially since we're here in National Public Health Week. We're so excited you've taken the time to join us, and a special shout out to our family and friends who are watching tonight on Facebook. My name is Elaine Auld, and as SOPHE's Chief Executive Officer, along with Cam Escoffery, our 2021 fantastic president, we're honored to have you join us for our red carpet celebration, and just to acknowledge some of the great work our health education heroes are doing on the field. And what a great, outstanding group we have. It's a true grid of professionals who are blazing trails at the research and practice levels, and many of whom have been presenters over this last 2 days so far in our digital conference, Gateway to the Future, Health Education and Health Promotion for All. If we were here in person, I'd say, hey, let's all give a round of applause to Darcy Sharp and the tremendous planning committee. Just a phenomenal job of speakers that we've been already exposed to, and we have looking forward to not only the next day concluding tomorrow, but over our conference time until May 11th. So thanks, Darcy, for a fantastic job, and all the planning committee. So as we begin tonight's awards presentation, I want to also acknowledge our exhibitors and our supporters for our conference. And I hope you'll all take time to review their resources in our virtual exhibit hall. For this event, we're especially pleased and thankful to have such great support from Sage Publications, our journal publisher for over 25 years now, and to Farley Dickinson University School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Again, a virtual round of applause to thank them and all the conference supporters who have committed their resources to SOPHE and to you. Well, yesterday, we recognized the highest recognition to a non-member, the SOPHE Honorary Fellow, to Dr. Anthony Fauci, who probably needs no introduction to all of us in public health. He served as one of the most trusted and respected health communicators on viral epidemics, including HIV/AIDS, SARS, Ebola, Zika, West Nile virus, and most recently, COVID-19. And during this pandemic, he has been an outspoken advocate for the need for sound scientific data to undergird our public health response and the need to adhere to public health guidelines. He wasn't able, unfortunately, to join us either this evening or during the conference, but we'd like to share with you his recorded acceptance of the Honorary Fellow Award. Jordan? We love technology. Hearing any sound?
Dr. Escoffery, I greatly appreciate your kind introduction. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees of the Society for Public Health Education for selecting me as the 2021 SOPHE Honorary Fellow. I am humbled to be in the company of the many luminary honorees before me, and I accept this distinguished award with deep gratitude. For more than 36 years, it has been my privilege as director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases to help lead the biomedical research response to significant global public health emergencies, including HIV, pandemic flu, SARS, Ebola, Zika, and now COVID-19. As a public servant, let me briefly describe some guiding principles I abide by in carrying out this responsibility. First is fidelity to the truth, especially those truths revealed by science-based evidence and data. The public needs to hear the truth as it is rather than as either they or we as government officials might want it to be. Sometimes the truth means saying, I do not know. Secondly, transparency also is key. From past outbreaks, we know that we must earn public trust and then work twice as hard to keep it. Earning public trust requires us to be honest and open and not withhold information. We must make sure that everyone understands where we are going, what is the goal, and how we are going to get there. Third, we must communicate clearly to achieve understanding. Throughout my career, I have always been guided by the tenet, precision of thought, economy of expression, which has informed how I think, write, and communicate with the public. We must use language that everyone can understand. We also must be accessible to a broad spectrum of audiences via multiple traditional and social media outlets through which people get their information today. Finally, we must show compassion for those affected and protect the vulnerable. We are all in this together, and to prevail, we must pull together as a nation for the common good. Putting these principles into practice has been essential to building public trust in science as the pathway to resolving the COVID-19 pandemic and ensuring that the fruits of our research, such as vaccines, realize their greatest potential benefit and are distributed equitably. And so, thank you again for this distinguished honor. I applaud SOPHE for the work you do to promote the health of all people through health education, health communication, and health promotion. You will always be an important partner in our global response to pandemics. Please keep well, continue your outstanding work, and enjoy the rest of your annual conference.
Well, I think he inspires all of us to double up our communication strategies, precision of thought, and economy of expression, as he said. Well, during our virtual conference, we also added to our SOPHE Wall of Fame with several outstanding award recipients. I hope many of you were with us today for our plenary with the Elizabeth Fries Health Education Award and the $25,000 prize that was awarded to Dr. Spiro Manson for his trailblazing work with Native American populations and the call to better research in this area. This award honors an outstanding career and leadership in health education, health promotion, and behavioral sciences, and is sponsored, of course, by the James F. and Sarah T. Fries Foundation and the CDC Foundation, for which we've been partners for many years. Congratulations, Spiro, and thank you for a remarkable presentation. And for this 21st annual conference, SOPHE also awarded 15 21st century and practitioner scholars that are participating, and each received $400 in registration and membership fees to participate. And given that we were a virtual conference, we were able to double those normal number of scholarships. We are congratulating each of our scholars and the best of luck to all of you. Many of them have an oral presentation or a poster during our conference. This student support and practitioner support, which has now been going on for more than 20 years, is made possible through our campaign for the 21st Century Fund, Building SOPHE's Future. In 2020, we're so grateful to all of you and our donors, which amounted to more than $58,000 from both the 21st Century Fund and our Legacy Circle Fund. So thank you to all our donors, and we appreciate your support. Now I'm going to turn it over to two of our past 21st century scholars, Haley Delgado and Mauricia Lewis, who can share a few words about how this work that SOPHE's been sponsoring for over 20 years with our scholars has benefited their career. So let's hear first from Haley.
Hello, can you hear me? All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Haley Delgado. I am currently a doctoral fellow at Oregon State University. I also serve as coordinator for Can-Do Houston and am currently the president of the Texas SOPHE chapter. I was a recipient of the 21st Century Scholarship to attend the SOPHE Advocacy Summit. As a first-generation student from the small rural town of Royal City, Washington, I just want to say that this experience really exposed me to understand policy briefs. It exposed me to research that can inform policy and also to what engagement with government officials looks like. At this summit, I was able to advocate for health policies with officials from the state of Texas. And this was something that was new to me. So I do want to give a thank you to SOPHE and the SOPHE Advocacy Committee for this opportunity and experience.
Thank you. Thank you, Haley. Marisha? Maybe she's not yet been able to join us, but I would like to say congratulations to all our scholars. I want to thank especially Haley and Marisha for, oh, okay, you're with us. Let's go.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to give you a brief of the lessons I learned during this summit and my journey during SOPHE, during the pandemic, and as a volunteer. I learned a lot during the summit. I acquired new skills in writing and social media networking. I gained an understanding of the benefits of speaking up and silence, and also a period to just be silent and observe. We were all affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and many lives are lost. We are grateful for the vaccination, and I encourage people to go out and take it. SOPHE provided a lot of opportunities for me. I come from a Caribbean island, Trinidad and Tobago, and I was able to access information through their town meetings, their webinars, their blogs, and I'm really grateful. It assisted me in my job and reaching out to communities, especially schools where I live. SOPHE also provided financial support through their donor program, and they helped members, especially during this COVID period, and I am very grateful for that as well. I am currently a member of a social event work group, and I really enjoy this work group. I learn a lot, and it taught me that participation process and learning to volunteer and actually enjoy it. And I'm very grateful and thankful for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Marisha. These two scholars participated in our first virtual advocacy summit, which many of us thought could not happen last year. Traditionally, we take students and attendees to the Hill and actually meet with their members of Congress and their senators. And that we weren't going to let COVID stop us. We did this virtually, and we actually had a lot of success in expanding the number of students and practitioners who could attend. So thank you so much for that testimony to the way that our SOPHE donations are being put to good use. And I hope all of you will consider a donation to the 21st Century Fund or the Legacy Circle over the next couple of days. No donation is too small, and all goes to good work. I wanted to also give a shout out to the other students that are joining us this evening who might be thinking about applying. We will have 16 students and practitioners scholarships to attend the 2021 Virtual Advocacy Summit. We're doing it again virtually this year, given the uncertainty of all the vaccinations. And that application period is now open through July 1st or June 1st, excuse me. So please consult the website and apply and be part of a wonderful learning opportunity. SOPHE staff have the honor of selecting a Most Valuable Partner or MVP award each year to recognize an organization that has provided either technical assistance, support, and outreach on behalf of health education and SOPHE. And this year's MVP winner is California State Northridge. CSUN has been an affiliate organization member for 4 years and continues to promote SOPHE to students both on and off the campus. We're delighted that Jeff Goodman, pictured here, our former treasurer and CSUN faculty, is making the award in person to our CSUN colleagues. So congratulations, CSUN, and thank you for being an MVP partner. Now I'd like to introduce Bill Potts-Datema. He's a representative of the Foundation for the Advancement of Health Education and a sponsor of a very special competition. We have the SOPHE Student Health Eduthon, and he's going to be presenting some exciting news about the winning teams which competed earlier this week. And he will transition us to the next award category. The teams actually presented virtually on innovative solutions based on a very selected public health challenge related to our 2021 competition. And then the first health education response to COVID. This is SOPHE's first year for this exciting new type of competition that especially features technology, which is an important competency of our health education graduates. So, Bill, take it away.
Thanks very much, Elaine. And first, let me say how pleased we were from the FAHE Board of Directors to participate in helping to sponsor this competition. On Tuesday, April 6th, the new all-digital SOPHE Student Health Eduthon was held. And in total, there were 8 teams at the graduate and undergraduate level who applied their knowledge and skill in health education to an important public health problem. The SOPHE team of independent judges selected the graduate competition first place award, and the first place went to the University of Alabama. First, let me say I wish that we were all here to yell for you and you know, express our happiness, but we can all do that, you know, virtually for now, and then when we get together, we'll do it together. Additionally, the SOPHE team of independent judges selected the undergraduate competition first place winner, and that was Western Michigan University. So congratulations to both universities and to all of the university teams who participated. Thanks so much to all the students and for your terrific presentations and your innovative approaches to evidence-based solutions in health. And thank you to the committed and wonderful judges who participated in judging this year's Eduthon. So back to you.
Thank you, Bill. And thank you. Congratulations to all of our winners. I'm sure I can hear some cheers out there right now for all the teams that participated. And we so appreciate the support from the Foundation for the Advancement of Health Education to be able to sponsor this competition and to enable all of those first place winners to receive, each of them to receive $150 as part of their awards recognition. Now it's my pleasure to turn the program over to Dr. Victoria Green, who's the co-chair of our 2021 Awards Committee, who will take us to the next section. We'll also have Dr. Samantha Page, the co-chair of the Awards Committee, joining us this evening. And I want to give a special shout out and thanks to both of them and all of the Awards Committee. This committee has been quite active over the last year, not only in reviewing all of the competition that we have here this evening, but also throughout the year, we do present these scholarship awards. So they're called into service almost monthly. So we really appreciate all the time and effort they've put into it. And we're excited to hear about the deliberations they bring to us tonight. Victoria?
Thank you, Elaine. Good afternoon or evening, everyone, depending on where you are. On behalf of the SOPHE Awards Committee, I would like to welcome you all in recognizing and celebrating our awardees. I would also like to just say how excited we are to have so much support for our awards ceremony tonight with as many attendees as we do have. And I also want to extend a special thank you to our awards committee because this year we did have a new software to learn that was used for evaluation. So I really appreciate our awards reviewers sticking with us through that transition. We'd also like to thank all of the members and the subcommittee chairs, subcommittee members, and everybody for their service this past year. Our first student award will be introduced by Mr. Peter Edwards, the Deputy Director for the Division of Injury Prevention at the CDC. Dr. Edwards, or Mr. Edwards, you are on.
Again, good evening, everyone. Happy Public Health Week. I'm so pleased that I could join for this award this evening. This year, we have two students. You can see their pictures on the screen as we talk, through this. Are honored with the SOPHE CDC Injury Prevention Student Fellowship. This fellowship provides a modest $2,500 stipend to two graduate students to examine a problem in injury from the perspective of behavioral and social science. This past year, we've been honored to support Grace Albright and Sarah Spafford. Grace Albright is a PhD student at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. Her project is titled Behavioral Science Approach to Reduce Motor Vehicle Injuries, Parent-Teen Interaction During Autonomous Driving. The study aims to examine parent-teen interactions during an autonomous vehicle takeover task. That would scare me, but we hope to learn a lot from you, Grace. Further, they anticipate this work may help public health professionals understand the extent to which parents influence their teens' driving behavior, as well as inform parent-based safety interventions. Thank you for your work. Sarah Spafford is a PhD student at the University of Oregon. Her project is titled Mental Wellbeing and Resilience in Suicide Prevention Crisis Line Volunteers. The study aims to explore crisis line volunteers' mental well-being and resilience in the context of personal and professional factors that may influence these outcomes. The knowledge gained from the study may be utilized to inform training and support practices of suicide prevention hotline organizations to increase mental well-being while also decreasing turnover and burnout. Critical work, both of you. We thank you very much, and congratulations to both of you for your outstanding contribution to injury prevention and health education. Please join me for a round of virtual applause to both Grace and Sarah. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards, for being with us today and presenting that information. Next, I'd like to present the awardee for SOPHE's 2021 Patient Engagement Fellowship. This SOPHE $2,500 fellowship recognizes, assists, and trains master's or doctoral students to advance the research and practice of patient-centered healthcare from the perspective of health education or the behavioral sciences. This year's honoree is Milky Vu, a PhD student at Emory University studying patient-level factors influencing Vietnamese American parents' HPV vaccine uptake for their adolescent children, with a focus on structural, social, and cultural barriers. This study aims to advance the patient-centered healthcare and health equity by exploring social, structural, and cultural barriers to human papillomavirus vaccine for high-risk minority group. Congratulations, Milky. Next, I will introduce the R. Lancaster Community Health Internship Awardee, which is supported by the 21st Century Campaign. This $2,500 award supports a graduate student to conduct a health education and health promotion internship project at a public health department or community-based agency. The 2020 and 2021 R. Lancaster intern is Brianna De Leon, an MPH student at Southern Connecticut State University, who is exploring identity formation and identity salience among sexuality educators in collaboration with CT Health Associates. Please join me in congratulating Brianna for this award. And I just want to take a moment to also say to students, please submit your application for the next round of the R. Lancaster Community Health Internship Award, Injury and Patient Engagement Fellowships, and the 21st Century Scholarship to attend the Digital 2021 SOPHE Advocacy Summit. Apply before June 1st, 2021, and take advantage of these wonderful student opportunities to help jumpstart your career and advance our public health research and practice. It's really a great opportunity for you. And as Elaine mentioned earlier, through generous benefactors and former SOPHE members who have been a part of our SOPHE family during these past 71 years, we have been able to support the future generation of health education specialists. We are proud to honor our recipients who have been awarded the Vivian Drenken Student Scholarship, established in 2000 in honor of Dr. Vivian Drenken, a 1971 Distinguished SOPHE Fellow, who has both health education mentor and scholar. This award provides $2,500 scholarships to students who have demonstrated academic excellence and a commitment to improving the public health through a career in health education. This year's recipients are Taryn Holt, Natalie Astor, and Amy Blum. Please join me in congratulating these wonderful students. Thank you for your exceptional applications, Taryn, Natalie, and Amy. We wish you luck in your future health education studies and as you volunteer support to assist our future SOPHE programs. Next, we have our SOPHE Graduate Student Research Paper Award. This recognizes an outstanding graduate student for creative and innovative research, illustrated by the completion of a research paper. This year's Graduate Student Research Paper Award and $2,500 recognition goes to Janae Tanisha Alexander. She's from Texas A&M University, and Janae's paper is titled Associations Between Marijuana Use and the Prevalence of Diabetes. We encourage Janae to submit her paper for journal publication, a future webinar, or conference presentation. Congratulations, Janae. It is now my pleasure to turn our program over to Cam, SOPHE's immediate past president.
Thank you very much, Victoria. And I want to extend my congratulations to the previous winter and also to Samantha and Victoria for leading the awards banquet and all the ceremonies for today. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, so we really appreciate it. I also want to thank everybody for joining us today. I know that it's towards the end of the week. We have one more day to go. I am so sorry you missed the SOPHE dance yesterday. If you didn't get a chance to come, Heather put that we actually not only cut a rug and dance, but we also raised $550 for the student scholarship. So please join us next time for other SOPHE social events. It is now my privilege as your SOPHE president to present some special citations and awards. Earlier this week during the SOPHE all-member business meeting, I presented 3 presidential citations to the following individuals for their exemplary contributions to SOPHE and to its excellence as SOPHE board members. They included Molly Brown, who is our House of Delegates trustee, Jeff Goodman, who was our former treasurer, and Heidi Honcharanch, who was our advocacy trustee. Thank you so much for your contribution and your work. Next, it is my honor to present 3 SOPHE stars with the SOPHE Trophy for this year. Although the SOPHE Trophy Award emerged from humble beginnings, it's become an acknowledgement of tireless contributions by SOPHE exceptional volunteers. In this past year, this award has been penned as the Unsung SOPHE Hero Award, and it recognizes the many contributions to SOPHE by the recipients. This year, the SOPHE awardees are, next slide, Jean Brenny, Jody Early, and Jonathan Johnson. These individually boldly led SOPHE this year on the Health, Equity, and Anti-Racism Task Force to take SOPHE on its first steps towards more intentional and purposeful efforts to become anti-racism in our research, practice, policy, and organizational operations. Congratulations and thank you to Jean, Jonathan, and Jody. I wish I could be there to give it to you personally. So congrats. One of the additional privileges of SOPHE president is to regularly meet with many of our SOPHE chapters. Our SOPHE chapters do incredible work on the ground in terms of providing professional development, mentoring, and advocacy at the state and local levels. I strongly encourage each of you with a chapter in your state to join, or perhaps start one if you can't find one in your state. It is my pleasure this evening to present the Chapter Excellence Award, which recognizes a SOPHE chapter who has demonstrated creative, effective, and replicable methods in the delivery of one or more core member services. The recipient of this year's Chapter Award for Excellence is Utah SOPHE. Joining me in congratulating Utah SOPHE and their chapter members in attendance, Christy Strong, Leanna Fletcher, Molly Brown, and Carrie Norton. Utah SOPHE will receive a $250 award from the National SOPHE towards its structure. Next, I'd like to present the Papers of the Year award. These are for each of our 3 journals. Each of the journals has its own criteria and process for selecting these awards, and each selecting paper awardee receives a $100 award to honor their contribution to the literature, which is perpetually open to all journal readers. The first award is for health promotion practice. This award goes to the Sarah Mazelis Paper of the Year award goes to the Native American Youth Citizens Uncovering Community Health Food Security Priorities, located in the 2020 supplement, and it's the 21 issue. The awardee is Catherine Kim. Congratulations, Catherine. The next award is the Health Education and Behavior Award. This is for the Lawrence Green Paper of the Year Award. The paper is entitled Latent Missing Values, Narrative Power, and Data Politics in the Discourse of COVID-19, very timely publication in volume 47, issue 5, 2020. And the awardee is Ryan J. Pedagogy. Congratulations, Ryan. Our Pedagogy and Health Promotion Award Paper of the Year is How Do We Explain the Social, Political, and Economic Determinants of Health? A call for the inclusion of social theories of health equity within the U.S. public health pedagogy. In volume 6, issue 4, 2020. It goes to Dr. Michael Harvey. Congrats on all of these 3 papers and awardees. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Victoria for the presentations of additional awards.
Thank you, Cam. Congratulations to all these students and professional colleagues for their efforts in moving our profession forward. We are just surrounded by amazing people, aren't we? We are so fortunate. Now moving on to our next award category, we have the Horizon Award. This award recognizes an individual less than 5 years in the field who has distinguished him or herself as a promising health educator through leadership, creativity, involvement in the profession, and health education practice. The recipient of this year's Horizon Award is Natalie Batista, an MPH student at Southern Connecticut State University. She is a collegiate champion, as in her final year of their MPH program that specializes in health promotion. Nicole is also a full-time health educator for the Connecticut Special Olympics, and she has been a health educator for less than 2 years. She was instrumental in starting the newest chapter of Connecticut SOPHE and was a SOPHE 21st Century Scholarship awardee in 2019. Congratulations, Nicole. As a true trailblazer in health education, we look forward to seeing your next contributions. Our next category is the Digital Health Technology and Communication Award, which recognizes individuals or groups who have distinguished themselves by applying innovative, non-commercial technology in health education that can be broadly disseminated and has the potential to make a significant impact in the health education practice. This year's award goes to the initiative, Health Education and Health Promotion Student Organization at Arizona State University. Students in HEPSO have designed and delivered health communication campaigns using social media. This campaign includes creating and posting high-quality infographics. All of the infographics are created by students and cover such topics as COVID-19, health equity, racism, and women's health. The goal of the campaign is to inform the ASU community and greater public, of course, about the social determinants of health. To date, HEPSO has created and disseminated over 150 infographics. This evening, the following members are here to accept the award: Tessa Larez, Taryn Hout, Cassandra McCracken, Diana LeBay, Rachel Thomas, and Chloe Collins. Kayla Vento, Sammy Lou Kropasert, Jeanette Rupley. Congratulations to all of you and thank you for your hard work. Our next award in tonight's program is the Karen Denard Goldman Health Education Mentor Award, which recognizes an individual in an academic or practice setting who has made a significant contribution to the preparation and/or performance of health educators and has successfully forged a link between research and practice. The 2021 Mentor Award recipient is Gary Harper, a professor in the Department of Health Behavior and Health Education at the University of Michigan School of Public Health. His decades of energy and dedication to the health education, mentorship, and teaching exemplify the true spirit of this award. As a mentor and teacher, Dr. Harper has informed generations of students in public health and social justice and empowered them to bring new insights, experiences, and skills to the field. Dr. Harper, will you please share your remarks with our group?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to everyone briefly tonight and really appreciate the award. And I'm really humbled and honored by this award, especially because I was nominated by a group of former students at DePaul University, where I was for 17 years before coming to University of Michigan. And they're all amazing people that are out in the world making a huge difference through health education. And that's why I have two universities on my background to represent both of my allegiances. Also, I'd like to really dedicate this award to my parents, George and Betty Harper. They really made me the person that I am today, and for that, I'm forever grateful. My mom always instilled in me a real sense that all people, regardless of who you are, where you're from, deserve the same level of respect and love. And my dad always encouraged me to not really think about what other people think and to find my own path and to forge forward with that. And those are things that I've really carried with me throughout my lifetime. I'm also very honored to get this award because it really represents doing what I love to do, which is to educate, to mentor, and to also try and make a difference in the world. I've always been influenced by the great British educator Paulo Freire and his concepts of critical pedagogy, and also his idea of teaching as an act of love. And he talks about this from the perspective of how we need to be humanizing students and really demonstrating concern and caring and breaking down the hierarchies that often exist within our educational institutions. One thing that I've been saying to my students a lot lately is that education doesn't have to hurt. You know, we're here to learn and to grow together. And so I try and really engage with my students and really work together with them, collaborate them. I also encourage students to question the status quo, to not blindly accept what they're told and what they read. I want them to challenge me. I want them to challenge everything. So I think too much of our educational system is really based on the lived experiences of non-oppressed people of privilege. And we need to really dismantle those structures more and create educational experiences that are open and accessible to people from all backgrounds. I myself was a first generation university student. I applied to one university. I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember being there thinking that I was in a game where no one had bothered to tell me the rules. I was lost so much of the time. And we need to change that. We need to fix that. We need to change the way we look at admissions, the way we look at our educational system, so that we can have more diverse voices at the table. I also encourage my students to try and make a difference in the world. One of the first things I say to a lot of my grad students is, why are you here? I want students to really think about that and to think about what their purpose is and to work toward making the change in the world that they want to see. I just want to end by reminding us, we all know we're in really challenging times right now, and public health education is on the forefront of our minds. And that means that we can get really exhausted. So I think I would really encourage all of us to continue to show compassion and caring toward each other, but also toward ourselves, and realize that we're only human and we can only do so much. And I also want to end with a quote from Paulo Freire. It says, "Because love is an act of courage, not of fear, love is a commitment to others. No matter where the oppressed are found, the act of love is commitment to their cause, the cause of liberation." Thank you so much for this award. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Harper, for your words. Let's all give him a virtual applause on this prestigious and well-deserved award. Thank you again for being with us today. I would now like to invite Dr. Edith Parker to present our final award of the evening, the Distinguished Fellow Award, which is presented to the late Dr. Kenneth McLeary, who was a Regent and Distinguished Professor from Texas A&M University's School of Public Health. This award honors an individual who has made significant and lasting contributions to the field of health education and is the highest recognition given by SOPHE.
Thanks. When I learned of the death of Ken this past spring, I was really shocked that he had not won the SOPHE Distinguished Fellow Award. So I reached out to several SOPHE members to help me with the nomination. And through those letters, there were several themes. One was just how he had really advanced the science of our field and his contributions with his research, his real innovation. Second was what a strong mentor he was, not only of students and faculty at his own institutions, but I think several of us experienced his kindness and his gracious mentoring of us as we advanced through our career. And finally, it's just his service contributions, not only to SOPHE, where he was in leadership positions and served on editorial boards, but also for APHA. And so as I think Jim Burdine, who's going to represent Ken's family in accepting this award, will describe just how great and how many contributions he had. So I'll turn it over to Jim.
Thank you, Edith. Good afternoon. As you heard, my name is Jim Burdine. I joined SOPHE in 1970 and served as president-elect, president, and past president back in the early 1990s. While I haven't been as active in SOPHE in recent years, SOPHE holds a special place in my heart for its role in developing my own career, as it has with many others, including our honoree this evening, Dr. Ken McElroy. So it's both a personal and professional honor to accept this award on behalf of Ken and his family. I'm going to give the students in the audience an assignment, which is to go look up Ken McElroy and expect to fill up Google with his citations beyond anything you might imagine. So I want to focus on Ken as the person, not so much on his academic and practitioner accomplishments, although those are legion. But I want you to know a little bit about Ken as a friend and mentor. Ken grew up in East Texas, Tyler specifically, which is the home of the famous Kilgore College Rangerettes, which may mean more to those of you who watch the Rose Tournament of Roses parades every year. But I share that with you because it gives you some context for much of what I saw in Ken's adult life. If you think about growing up in the 1950s and 60s in deep East Texas, then pickup trucks, muscle cars, Marlboros, beer, mullets, and big hair immediately come to mind. Also present was the in-your-face social injustice of that time. And trying to reconcile those, I think, is what generated much of Ken's take no prisoners approach to his work. What do I mean by that? Well, let me give you a bit more context to my remarks. I met Ken in 1977 when I was a doctoral student at UNC. Working as a graduate research assistant, I was assigned to Ken as a consultant to help him design the evaluation of the National Stroke Center project. Ken worked at the Research Triangle Institute, or RTI, in their Center for Health Studies. As a senior analyst, Ken was responsible for managing and conducting large-scale research projects. I was given an empty desk in Ken's office at RTI and spent 3 to 4 days a week there for the next 3 years. And not at all disparaging of my time at UNC, but probably 70%, maybe more, of what I learned as a doctoral student came from conversations with Ken rather than classroom work in Chapel Hill. As we talked through the evaluation design, I found that every idea, new theory I just learned, or attempt to contribute to our project was met with crushing criticism. More than once, I told my wife that I need to look for a different job or maybe give up doctoral studies altogether, because clearly I was unprepared for this and didn't know what I was doing. In her own direct way, she said, "Have you asked Ken why he's being so critical?" I guess I'll try that, I responded. Next day, I asked Ken if he wanted a different GA because apparently I wasn't providing him with what he needed. Ken gave me this slightly head-cocked, smirky look. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Paused for a couple of seconds, then laughed. He said, "You're smarter than what you're giving me. I'm just trying to get everything out of you I can." In that moment, I learned the secret of working with Ken McElroy, something I did for more than 40 years. Ken always gave his best and expected you to do the same. I remember hearing more than once Ken say something like, 90% of our theories don't work, but that's no reason to be discouraged. That's where the fun is, finding the 10%. Students in Ken's doctoral seminars were treated to arguably one of the greatest thinkers of modern public health. But they also learned the price of coming to class unprepared. Most did that only once. Ken saw that as highly disrespectful of himself, but more importantly, the offender's classmates. Ken frequently was asked by faculty if they could audit his seminars, particularly folks with PhDs in related areas, but not public health. Same rules applied. Come to class prepared to expect to be intellectually skewered on your own lack of knowledge. Nobody coasted in Ken's classes, but if you gave your best effort, you were rewarded with access to his encyclopedic mind, his wit, his infectious passion for public health and for helping those in greatest need. At the same time, if you were one of Ken's students, you had the protection of his intellect should some junior faculty member try to show off at your dissertation defense by asking a trick question. Same outcome. The offending individual left questioning their own intelligence as well as their choice of careers. It didn't happen often, but it sure was fun to watch. I don't want you drawing a conclusion, though, that Ken was an intellectual bully. Far from it. His desire was for everyone to do their best. But some people needed a feather, others needed 2x4 to get something to sink in. I fall into the latter category, but Ken had all those tools. My conversations with Ken didn't focus on health behavior theory or specific aspects of the evaluation we were designing. We touched on religion, politics, personalities, and over time, our conversation continued through career changes, marriages, births of kids, and other life events. We also spoke about Ken's passions. Ken was a collector. When we first met, he had the largest collection of vinyl recordings I'd ever seen in my life. And I grew up in Southern California as a professional musician, so I'd seen my share of vinyl. Later on, Ken's passion became wine. He had over 1,000 bottles at one point. He also collected Meerschaum pipes and, of course, reading. I'm confident in saying no one ever saw Ken McElroy without a book under his arm, mostly science fiction. I remember when he introduced me to the Dragon Riders of Pern series, but I'm getting off the topic here. Ken's commitment to his work, his vision for a world where the kind of injustice he'd seen as a youth was banished, crept into everything he did or said. He didn't require you believe that as he did to work with him or for him to support someone, just as long as they were able to defend their position. Ken wasn't an ideologue. He and I often arrived at the same conclusions, but through radically different pathways, and he was fine with that. Ken also loved to include clever taglines in his emails. If you ever got one, you know what I'm talking about. So I want to close with a couple of his favorites. First was attributed to Kurt Lewin. There's nothing as practical as a good theory. And the second, which is attributed to Johannes von Snipschuts. In theory and practice are the same thing. In practice, they are not. That kind of sums up Ken in many ways. So I want to thank the SOPHE's board for this award and the recognition. Nancy, I look forward to delivering this to you and as soon as it arrives in College Station. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, for those amazing words about Dr. McCleary and sharing a little bit about him for those of us that didn't know him. I want to congratulate Dr. McCleary and his family, as well as all the award winners tonight. You are all truly trailblazers in our field, and we are excited to have you. As a reminder, applications are being accepted now for the R. Brick Lancaster Community Health Internship Award, the Injury and Patient Engagement Fellowships, and the 21st Century Scholarships to attend the Digital 2021 Advocacy Summit. You can apply for all three on sophe.org until June 1st. Additionally, SOPHE will be taking applications from April 12th to the 16th for the Helen P. Cleary Scholarship. This scholarship provides financial support to students enrolled in a health education related degree program to enable them to take the National Certified Health Education Specialist exam. Make sure you take advantage of that, students. Thank you all for joining us to celebrate these deserving individuals and organizations for their contributions to our field of health education and health promotion. As you have witnessed, your support for SOPHE's 21st Century campaign and other campaigns can meet the world of the future to the pipeline to our profession. Please consider a donation today or in the near future to SOPHE's 21st Century campaign or the Legacy Circle. We hope that you have enjoyed sharing the achievements of our friends and colleagues at this evening's award ceremony. We look forward to seeing you and resuming SOPHE's face-to-face networking conference at SOPHE 2022, March 22nd to the 25th in St. Louis at the Hyatt Regency in St. Louis Arc. And before you all leave, I do also want to extend a special thank you for all the amazing work the SOPHE back office does, Jordan does, and all the other student interns and workers at SOPHE that help make this possible. Thank you for your attendance and have a wonderful evening and rest of the conference.